So, we're live. I now live in a little village just outside Cardiff, and I'm taking in a little lunchtime walk here, just with a few thoughts. You know, I thought, why not get that step count up? Shout out to all my Samsung Health users, my Fitbit users, chasing them steps, baby. And yeah, just see if anyone's going to join me today, this beautiful lunchtime, and just going to have a chat about personal development, some ideas, some observations, some thoughts as we take in a stroll, as each step contributes to the step count. And the thing for me is, on the topic of step counts, you know, each action is a step towards the goal. There's a lot of, I mean, you see it, and you know, Facebook is a place where people voice their opinions, of course, and you see a lot of people becoming increasingly disgruntled with the idea of instant gratification, people selling hope, and that type of thing. And I believe, I was having a great conversation with a phenomenal coach and leader over Facebook the last couple of days. And we made the observation that the clue is in the title: personal development. Even if you want to say personal growth. I mean, if you were gonna plant a tree or some flowers and you're waiting for that growth, it wouldn't be tomorrow or the next day. You'd have to wait. You'd have to wait for it to grow. And I think that, you know, our goals have to be the same. Our personal development has to be the same. There has to be a certain amount of patience involved. And that's just inherent in the process. I'm sure that some of you watching this have got big goals, and you're extremely motivated, and you know you can make it happen. But 5 years ago, I was convinced at the time. I was hooked on the dream. I was hooked on the hope. You know, I mean, that hopium. You know, that hopium, it's like a drug. I was hooked on it. But 5 years ago, I thought I'd be where I am now after 18 months, 2 years. But in life, in personal development, in business, there has to be that period of growth. And that's where the clue is. And a great way to get in touch with this idea is to practice that level, practice a level of self-awareness. Truly be honest. Let's go down here. Let's a little adventure down here. Truly practice a level of self-awareness to work out, where are you really within your health and fitness? I mean, if you can bench press 50 kilos, it wouldn't make much sense for you to set the goal to be able to bench press 150 kilos in 2 weeks. Other areas of personal growth and personal development and business growth and speaking career growth or your coaching practice growth, they're very much the same. Lots of people like to get involved with the idea, and, you know, as you say, some people in the industry are selling that hope, that hopium. Lots of people get involved with the idea of get-rich-quick schemes. I like to think that I'm involved in a get-rich-slow scheme. You know, it's been 5 years, you know, and there's had to be a continuous level of self-awareness to keep going, in order to keep growing. And I say, the value in the idea of the self-awareness, yes, Penny has said self-development is a process which takes time and awareness, absolutely. And that's pretty much why I wanted to do this quick video, because without that awareness, without that appreciation of time, of development, then we can become disgruntled, disheartened. We can think, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not supposed to work on myself. But the idea of, just like planting those flowers, just like planting some beautiful flowers, eventually they do grow with the right amount of water and fertilization. And you use your self-awareness. If it's been heavily raining, then perhaps you don't water them that day. You know, if you've trained heavy legs, then you don't train heavy legs the next day. You know, and I think sometimes, particularly financial, I mean, this is where we can really get hooked. We can get hooked in by the instant gratification. We can get hooked in by the idea that we can have it all now. And in my experience so far, my intuition tells me that you can get rich. Financially, spiritually, emotionally. You can get... Hi Barry, how are you, my friend? You can, of course, get rich in many different areas of your life. But it's going to involve some patience, some self-awareness. And that, I believe, is not actually necessarily a bad thing. Let me explain what I mean by that. This is a beautiful spot here. The idea of something that takes time, when something takes time and effort, and you realize the process, and you stay self-aware, and you make adjustments, and it takes weeks, months, years, that level of satisfaction that you'll feel when it's done is just incredible. I mean, I just experienced it last week. I thought, as I say, 5 years ago, I thought people would be ringing me up, ready to pay me hundreds of pounds an hour to speak and train. I thought that would happen within a matter of weeks, but it didn't. But last week, got a call from a company, quoted my fee, and we booked it in for this Friday. Now, I don't say that to impress you. I say that to share with you the idea that I thought that was going to be the case 5 years ago, when that's only really the case after 4 years of personal and business development. Does this make sense? So I want you to think about this. Let's say you like KFC, for example, and which process, the end of the process, which is most satisfying? You go to KFC, you buy yourself a bucket of chicken, and you eat the chicken. Process number 2 is you buy all of the ingredients. You find an incredible fried chicken recipe. You involve a friend or a loved one or a partner. You go through the whole cooking process together. You stay self-aware. You realize it might be a little bit under-seasoned. You season it a little bit more. You realize the heat might be a bit high. You turn the heat down. And at the end of it, you have some beautiful, beautiful fried chicken made by you. I'm sure you'll agree the second process is more satisfying. So I've got many people on my Facebook that are involved with personal development, recently involved with personal development, and of course want to get involved in speaking, coaching, careers, which of course we need. It's clear the world needs more leaders, but just a little bit of patience, my friends. And I'd like to leave that idea with you. And if you're watching this live, thank you so much for being with me. Say hi. 2 of the guys have already said hi. If you're watching the replay, it'd be fantastic to hear from you too. And yeah, I mean, because I'm sort of, I'm new. I'm still new. I mean, it's only been 5 years that I've been coaching and training and speaking. So, you know, I'm happy to take you guys questions on this idea. You know, I'm happy to, if you want to question me here on the live, some more videos that I do over the coming weeks and months, or if you want to send me your questions in my inbox, you know, I'm here for you guys because I'm not that much further down the path than some of you. You know, you're only as young as you feel, right? Still look quite young. I got ID'd for a bottle of Calpol for my son the other day, so I still look quite young. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't see myself as, I don't know, people are very kind in some of their praise of me and that type of thing, and indeed some other speakers and trainers, but we're all just human beings, and consciously we can develop. And when we take that conscious control of it, and we take conscious control over the idea that it is a development process, it is a growth process. I mean, look around here. Look at these beautiful, beautiful trees. Beautiful trees surrounded by greenery. This was not a click. This was not a click of a finger. This was a growth process, and it's still growing. You know, and that's the thing. The trees don't know when to stop growing. They grow as tall as they possibly can. You know, there's no thought process. Growth is inevitable to them. They just keep growing and keep growing and keep growing. We can be the same. But some of these, perhaps, potentially, hundreds of years, yeah? Obviously, you know, unless modern medicine takes a big jump, we haven't got hundreds of years, but we've got a few decades. We've got a good few decades to keep growing, to make an impact. But have some patience with it. Personal development. The clue really is in the title of the practice. And what you'll notice is, you'll notice that you get in what I call a positive life cycle. When you're aware of the fact that it takes time, you're aware of the fact that it takes a little bit of patience, you're aware of the fact that you're growing, you're aware that sometimes it's going to hurt, sometimes you're going to be let down, sometimes people are going to say they're going to do one thing and then cancel. But you're aware that that is part of the process. And just like these trees here, just like these trees, if the seed's germinating through the ground and it comes across a piece of concrete, it doesn't retreat and say we won't put a tree up. It moves around the concrete and puts the tree up anyway. somewhere else. Let's try this bridge. I'm just walking around a new area, guys, where I've just moved, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's just great, you know. I mean, you hear a lot of cliched ideas on gratitude and presence and stuff, but I find that anything as green and with some flowing water and anywhere as beautiful as this it's a lot easier to get in touch with that side of yourself. So, and I guess this is part of my development. I mean, 3 years ago I wouldn't make time for this. I'd be too busy hustling and grinding and getting it done, you know. But this is, I believe, just an important part of the development as some of the more business-driven, motivated practices. Oh, thank you, Penny, and I hope to see you very, very soon. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to finish my walk now. Just stay present with the trees and some of the birds chirping away here, and then I will probably get back to a little bit of hustle, a little bit of business after that. But yeah, I hope I've helped maybe just one of you, maybe one of you watching the replay, just with the idea that, of course, personal development is great, and that you want to be patient, you want to stay self-aware, and you want to enjoy that cliched idea of enjoying the journey, because it is going to take time. There's no getting away from that. Okay, my friends, and I'll be back live tomorrow, and maybe even later on. It's been my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you, Penny and Barry, for your comments, and have a great Monday and start Q3 strong. Love you guys.